Well, hello and welcome to episode 26 of Kerbal's Space Program. This is the career we've been sharing together on YouTube. And as you may have recalled or may not recall, if you haven't seen the last video, I recommend you check it out. We took a rather preposterous ship and we eventually ended up in the orbit of Minmus with it. It should serve basically as an orbital refinery for our mining missions. But we need a miner. We need something that can take ore from the planet, bring it up to the orbital refinery, and so it can be processed. And so that's what we're going to be launching today. And it's taking a little while to load. That's sort of disturbing. It always does. I really shouldn't say that's disturbing. Well, yeah, I guess that's disturbing because it didn't even... I thought I had the ship preloaded, but I guess I did not. We will take this, the Minmus mining lander. And again, it's a little bit of a monstrosity, but it is kind of what it is. Oh, this is wrong. There's so many things wrong with this. Okay, I thought I had rebuilt this, but apparently I did not. So what I wanted to do here instead... We're going to take this out. I was going to add antennae to the... If you saw the last episode, you'll notice that I remembered that I didn't add any communication to the ship. Well, eventually, that won't be important because we'll have satellites. I was going to add that piece to as a resolution to that, but we really just don't need it. So we're going to take that out, and also... That's not what I intended. We're going to take out this extra piece here because we don't need it anymore. All right, so this is what we are going to go with, and let's launch this. This is our new miner. You saw those nuclear reactors on there, and the reason for that is this is going to spend a lot of time in the shadows. So using solar power isn't really useful. So what I did is I put the thing that drills on one side, and on the other side I balanced it out with all the power that the drill is going to need. So that was kind of the way of looking at it that I took. Again, I could put solar panels on these things and maybe have two drills and so forth, but I kind of want a universal solution. I want a solution that can work on every place that we go. And sometimes it's just going to make more sense to have one drill and a lot of power. So that's what I did. And we will go ahead and launch this, and here we go. This time, the first stage is only solid fuel. I don't have any liquid fuel burning at all. There's a lot more thrust to weight in this one, so I'm going to kind of bend this one over like it's a lot lighter. It's a more normal, I hate to say this is normal shape. Compared to the last one, this is more normal shaped. So I'm going to kind of start trying to get a gravity turn out of this one with the solid boosters. That's not always easy. But we're going to do what we can do. I meant to change the resolution. This is at 2K right now on my screen. When I process the video, it changes it to 1920. Don't know why, but that's what's available. And so I noticed some pixelation in the past, and I changed it to 1920. It apparently changed itself back, which is why this is all out of kilter. So I need to change that, and I will do that probably after this episode, but very strange. All right, we are done with our solids. However, we're way up here. Yeah, we're way up there. I did not get that over as far as I wanted. we need to burn sideways. And if that means we're in a ridiculously high orbit, I don't really care. We have a lot of fuel compared to the last time. Well, it's not that we have a lot of fuel, it's we have a lot of delta V compared to the last time. And the reason we have a lot of delta V compared to the last time, I'm going to go ahead. Speaking of delta V, let's go ahead and deploy that fairing. We have it staged up here, but we're not anywhere near there. We're in space. We're not coming down. It doesn't matter. But we have a lot of delta V because this is a much lighter ship, even lighter now that we got rid of that fairing. So I don't really care. We have so much fuel, I just don't really care. And maybe that's like a horrible attitude to take. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take it. It just doesn't matter. So we're going to go ahead and pull this out. Pull this out a little further. Let it cooperate. 182. 187. Something's not right. 181. 188. That's even worse. 191, 178, man, a little overcompensating. 185, 184. Let's call that a win. So it says that we have a 6-minute 51 burn. The reason that is we're going to go ahead and start that right now. The reason that is because we're going to finish up with the nuclear, and they are just preposterously weaker. I mean, look at right now. Our thrust to weight on this one is 158, 59, 60. It's going to be here in a second. All right. So that's great. That is really cranking us through the early part of this burn. When we get to the nuclear engines, they are going to pretty much just be laughable compared to this the thrust that we're getting here. I'm going to go ahead and just do a double fast forward of this. That's about as good as we can get. Why won't that? There we go. For some reason it wouldn't stage for me. I don't know why. Now our burn time now is 6 minutes. That's pretty crazy, but these are just not strong engines. I mean, look at that. The thrust is now 0.35. So I'm going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and that's about as fast as we can. Well, we can go faster. This is a smaller ship. So we go 4 times the speed, but that's still 5 minutes out. So I'm going to go ahead and shut up now. We'll fast forward this and give you the benefit of really going through this quickly. Okay, that's about as ugly as you can get, but that's okay. That's just okay. We have plenty of fuel. That's just a horribly circularized orbit. We're going to go ahead and just pull this out to here. Get it? Really? This is crazy. There we go. It shows you how close these two are when, I mean, it doesn't really take that much of a thrust difference to get these kind of even. We're going to go ahead and take that. We have plenty of time to do that. We're going to go ahead and as soon as this allows us, we're going to go ahead and as soon as that's close, we're going to warp to the next maneuver. And what I'm trying to do is, it just makes it easier. We have a lot, just a preposterous amount of thrust. This is really this is what we're looking at. This is the little satellite we're going to launch in Minmus. But this 46, 44, that's what we need. That's so much more than what we need to do. We're going to come in with basically a full tank of that fuel, which is kind of what we wanted to do anyways. So we're going to wait till the notice T minus 22 because this is 44, and we're going to burn at that point. Little early. My bad. I'm not too concerned. Again, burning early, I think, is better than burning late. And we'll get this out to the right periapsis or close to, it'll be more circularized. And then we'll worry about getting on the right plane. And then we'll get us to Minmus. We'll get us to Minmus. Well, we'll go to Minmus. English is my first language, you would think. It's going to come around to here. No, stop it. That's pretty close. I'm pretty happy with that. All right, we'll set Minmus as the target. We're past the descending node, so we'll wait till the ascending node. And because it's the ascending node, we will burn down. And what I try to do here is I just try to make the ascending node and the descending node move about 90 degrees. Because in my mind, by the time that happens, it's a pretty flat orbit. I'm not going for perfection, I'm going for close. And when it starts moving, it's pretty much on that plane. It may not be perfect, but it's close. We have a 1 minute 56 second burn for this, which is actually not too bad. So once we're in the right position, I'm going to go ahead and warp to the next maneuver. And we're in the right position, so here we go. And we'll zip around here. The burn time is 1 minute 56, so it's not going to be too much less than a minute that we burn. In fact, it'll be 58 seconds for those of us who can do math. So we'll go ahead, wait till it gets to 58, and there we go. Again, if I did the math on this, it's probably really better to burn early than right at half, because again, you get more thrust in the second half. But it doesn't have to be that close. It just has to be close. And these moons are big enough, the ships are big enough, the engines are big enough, we're fine. It's just a matter of getting the burn done. And we have a lot of this burn left. These engines are not powerful, but they are efficient. And I'm really looking forward. I keep forgetting to jettison off these caps. Should have done that a while back. Should have done that as soon as we hit orbit, but I did not. So hopefully I'll remember to press the button as soon as we're done burning. It does us no good to jettison those while we are burning because they're jettisoning in the direction that we are burning. So we'll just catch up to them and they'll either do damage or they'll stick to our ship anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're really, really close to being on that plane, and you can see how close we are to the planned burn. That's not bad. Not bad at all. I should have sped forward on this. I apologize for not doing that. But I've been talking the whole time, so maybe that's not bad. We'll go ahead and finish this up. Doesn't have to be perfect, but let's make it as perfect as we can make it. All right. Where can we burn? That's where it's... Don't know. We may have to wait an entire time around from this because I think we were just perfectly positioned to be in the wrong place. Nope. Actually, that's not bad. We get a Minmus encounter at 9. The periapsis is 2 hours later. It's hard to argue. That's a pretty high orbit, but it doesn't matter. Because, again, we have plenty of fuel. And the best time to burn probably is when we're in the control of Minmus. When the gravity of Minmus is stronger than the gravity of Kerbal, we're in pretty good shape. Alright, we have a long burn and no time to get there, so we're just going to start burning now, and with the realization that this will be a very inefficient burn. I didn't realize that. We'll be okay, though. Alright, I am going to go ahead and fast forward this a little bit, but I am also going to fast forward the video right now because this is a long burn. So I will go ahead and speed this up for you, and I'll see you on the flip side. Alright, as you can see, we burned way later than we needed to, or than we could. And while I can probably put more into this, I think the best thing to do is to try to burn again, like maybe out here, and figure out what we can do. Actually, well, nope, I'm wrong. Not the first time I'm wrong, not the last time I'm wrong. We got about a 2 hour. This is a real short, so we're really high in orbit, but that's okay. That's not a bad encounter. I am going to go ahead and fast forward this. And that should slow us down to a 4 thing. I have run into issues in the past where that has not worked well for me. My big concern here is that I'm in the wrong orbit, but we have so much fuel. It shouldn't be a big deal. Stop. All right, for whatever reason, this decided to, just like I was saying, it decided to fast forward me through this thing. We missed the apoapsis. But we have way more than enough time to burn this into orbit. We have way more than enough fuel to get us there, so I'm fine with that. But it's weird. It's you know, if I would have been any slower at that, we would have lost this. This orbit is going to be very, very short. Yeah, we're about to bust right through that and get right back in here. And as this gets longer, it'll eventually loop all the way around. We'll start seeing it bend here shortly. I am so glad I caught that. Like I said, I knew we were in high orbit, but I was not expecting it to be so high that we were going to go flying past the apoapsis in the acceleration, and the time acceleration. So that was kind of scary, but we've recovered. It's bending around now. You can see it. Once again, what we're going to do is come down to about 10,000. Slowed it down a little bit. We just need to get, that's close enough. We're going to go ahead and take the periapsis when we get there and plan this burn. Yeah, that's pretty badly placed, so let's go ahead and move this. Eight and 12. I think I accidentally clicked on that a little bit, so. Nope. Better this way. Good enough. That's what we're going to do. We're going to warp to the next maneuver as soon as we are in place. I can physics accelerate this by hitting the Alt and the period to get us to the right location. We'll then warp to the next maneuver. Or the right heading, I should say, not the right location. And there we are. So we have a 23-second burn and not very long. We have plenty of fuel. Plenty of fuel. Gonna go ahead and time accelerate this. Burning a little late, but I'm not too worried about this. And we're slowly getting down here. Fantastic. Let's take a look, see how that went. 10, 9. It's not great, but it's fine. All right, so I forgot to, that's kind of sad, but I forgot to bounce these off. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Hopefully they don't take anything out. Good. I was worried they'd take these out. Now, I have solar panels on this, and it doesn't matter because there should be enough juice in this battery to do what we need to do with this particular. This scanner is for mining. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pop this off. And we're going to go ahead and change back to this ship real quickly. We're going to take this, and we're also going to just decouple the node. This will get rid of this and allow that docking port to work. So we'll zip back to this ship right here. And what we need to do is get this on a polar orbit. So we're going to go ahead and map that out real quick. Where are we? We're about here, I think. Well, this is actually, this is the orbital mine. This is the lander. We're going to rename this. Because that's not a mining lander. This is the mining probe. All right, so we need to, whoops. Is that where we are? That's where we are. Nope. Well, we're in there someplace because that's the right icon. So we are going to go ahead and add a maneuver here where we put ourselves into a polar orbit. And we have 5 seconds of burn time. So this is a very light ship with a fair amount of fuel. More than a fair amount of fuel. And so I'm just gonna time accelerate this because this one is just not too hard. And we are on we should be on a polar. So let's see what we can do here. Perform orbital survey. All right, I need to be a little bit higher in the orbit. That's okay. We can do that. 25 to 300. So. All right, we're over that there. So we'll add a maneuver there. Whoops. Cancel all our maneuvers. When we're at our apoapsis, we will go ahead and burn out again. Oh, come on. Fine. I don't really care what these really look like, to be honest with you, because this satellite, its only purpose is to do this mining survey. So we are going to go ahead and do that. We have 20 minutes to burn to nothing, so let's go ahead and warp to the next maneuver. We will come around here and... Okay, that's for whatever reason decided not to stop. Not really sure what happened there. That's supposed to stop when you say warp to the next maneuver, I thought. Weird. I'm having really weird anomalies with this game ever since moving to the latest version. So, don't know what the deal is. Warp to next maneuver. It's not a very long burn. This shouldn't be this difficult. And we'll get to it as close as we can. Good enough. Whoops. I don't really care that that's that much higher than this because it's within the realm of what we need to do as far as... Good Lord. Stop. Let me do it. As far as doing this, which is perform orbital survey. It's doing it, and it has transmitted it. We even got 25 science out of it. So, yay for us. But the important part is now we have an orbital scan that tells us where the mining stuff is, and here all that is. So we know where we have to land, which is the important part with our orbital miner. If that makes sense. So we know where our lander has to land to make this work sensibly. All right, so there we go. Whoops. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and take us back to the Space Center and see if we have enough science to buy anything because of that extra 25. I don't think we do. And if we do, I don't know what we'll buy. But we'll take a quick look, just a quick look. Taking a while to get back there, not sure why. I've got a lot going on between recording and running this game and so forth, but seems like it's taking just an abnormal amount of time. I don't know lately. Well, we have 108, and I think we have a 90 in there, but I'm not going to buy that because we don't need this yet. This will be a nice-to-have later on type thing, but it's nothing we need right now. We're just building up for it. It's just a nice plus. All right, so I'm going to stop here. You have a wonderful day. Please, please, please subscribe to my channel. Click the like button on this video. And I'll tell you what, not only have a nice day, be safe.